Hello, and welcome to the first of a series of 5 induction videos, prayers, and conversations that will officially welcome you to the Lasallian family, introduce you to the Lasallian educational mission, to our founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, patron saint of all teachers and educators of youth, and to share with you a little bit about our identity, our ethos, and our charism. I just want to begin by extending a warm welcome to the Lasallian family and to the Lasallian family of the District of Ireland, Great Britain, and Malta. My name is Heather Ruppel-Gilson. I serve as Co-Secretary of Association out of our Institute in Rome and as Coordinator of Mission Initiatives for the District of Ireland, Great Britain, and Malta. We know it's a busy time of year, so we appreciate your time, and we hope the conversation that will ensue after this video will be fruitful and helpful as you begin your journey in the Lasallian educational mission. I'd like to invite Brother Michael Curran, one of our auxiliary visitors, to share with you a little bit about his life and the Brothers of the Christian Schools. Brother Michael?
Thank you, Heather, and hello to everyone. As Heather said, I am Brother Michael. I'm a De La Salle brother, one of the 2 auxiliary visitors we have in our district of Ireland, Great Britain, and Malta. In this course, you'll be coming across various unfamiliar words that relate to our Lasallian network, words you may not be familiar with, such as the term visitor. From the time of our founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, that is over 300 years ago, the brother who leads the Lasallian district holds the position of visitor. Some other religious orders use the term provincial. In our district, Brother Ben Hannon is our visitor, and I assist him along with another auxiliary visitor, Brother Tommy Walsh. Most religious orders have a particular robe that identifies them, such as what I'm wearing now. And those clothes are normally based on the clothing of the time when the order was founded. Historically, clothing was a way of which society knew who you were. I normally dress in ordinary clothes, as we prefer to be known by what we do and say, rather than what we wear. I wear the robe on formal occasions, but today, just for you, I am wearing my robe. Like yourself, I am a trained teacher, and therefore I have lived through the stresses and pressures of being a teacher in a new school, stresses that you might be experiencing at this present time. That is why I'm so pleased that you have made the time and space in your busy life to be with us today. So again, welcome to the Lasallian family. I can assure you that teachers who previously followed this course found it informative and very supportive. I was already a teacher when I joined the Brothers in 1979, and after 2 years of study, I was allowed to take the vows that all religious take, those of poverty, chastity, and obedience. In addition to those vows, I took a Pacific Lasallian one, Association for the Service of Poor through Education. Now, just in case you're wondering if I would ever become a priest, or would a brother ever become a priest, the answer is no, not if they are to remain as a De La Salle brother. Although our founder, De La Salle, was a priest, he did not want us, his brothers, to become priests, despite our high educational qualifications, because he did not want us to be taken out of schools in order to run parishes. Our vocation is a very narrow one, that is, the education of young people, and our preferred place to carry out our mission is in the classroom. And that classroom might be like yours, but also it could be a bamboo hut in a remote village, or a university lecture hall in a big city. I'll now hand you over to Heather, who will tell you a little bit more about the Lasallian family.
Thank you, Brother Michael. So if we were at a barbecue or some sort of function and you were new to the community, I would take the opportunity to take you around the barbecue and introduce you to some of the key players, some of the names and some of the faces you might see as you continue your journey in the Lasallian Educational Mission. And that's what we're going to do in the next few minutes, just to kind of situate you and to provide you some background on some common terms you'll hear, some of the phrases that we repeat a lot as Lasallians, and some of the names and faces you might see this year and as you continue to work in Lasallian education. I want to begin by sharing with you our mission. Our mission is to provide a human and Christian education to the young, especially the poor, according to the ministry which the Church has entrusted to it. This mission for many years was carried out solely by De La Salle Christian Brothers, or Brothers of the Christian Schools. Today, our mission is carried out by a global network of Lasallian educators, carrying out this mission of providing a human and Christian education to the young, especially the poor. And just to give you a sense of the Lasallian family, this global network you're a part in, I wanted to share with you our statistics from 2021. So currently, there are Lasallian schools in over 79 countries. So these are early childhood education centers, these are orphanages, these are primary, secondary, tertiary education programs that deal with court-adjudicated young people, programs that deal with agriculture. So really, the Lasallian family and the Lasallian Educational Mission runs the gamut of educational experiences and services, and we're in 79 countries around the world. Currently, there are about 3,000 brothers globally. About 1,600 of them are in active ministry. They are joined, however, by over 100,000 partners. These are lay people or maybe other religious who are not brothers, who really carry out the work of the mission entrusted to us to provide a human and Christian education to the young, especially the poor. And globally, there's over 100,000 partners, over 50% of them are women. And together, we educate over 1 million students and young people. I love to do this slide with young people and remind them that over 1 million young people today started their classes or their work with "Let us remember we're in the holy presence of God," and ended with "Live Jesus in our hearts." It's a powerful testament to the global reality of our Lasallian family and the network that you are being welcomed into. A few common terms that we wanted to share with you. Just as you go along, you might hear these phrases, so you have some sense of what we mean when we say some of these things. When we refer to the Lasallian family, we're talking about all of those involved in the Lasallian educational enterprise. So students, teachers, staff, administrators, parents, alumni, brothers, all of us who feel connected and are part of the Lasallian educational mission. When you hear the term institute, we're really talking about structures that are focused on the life of the brothers, right? So the brothers' way of life, the communities they live in, and how they operate as a global community. They are led by a superior general, Brother Armin Luistro from the Philippines. He was recently elected in May 2022, and he will serve for 7 years. Brother Armin is joined by a council, a general council of brothers from all over the world who help support him in his work in carrying out and caring for the brothers and the Lasallian family. They live in our generalate in Rome. It's a beautiful, kind of imposing building, not too far from the Vatican. But this is our headquarters, and you'll see on the front of the facade there, Fratres Scholarum Christianarum, FSC. This is the canonical name for the Brothers of the Christian Schools, and you'll see brothers write FSC after the name. The Lasallian family is organized into 5 different regions. So you'll see on the map there the different colors that denote the different regions of the Lasallian family. We have in green the Lasallian region of North America, or RLAN. In orange, you have the Lasallian region of Latin America, or RLUL. You have the region In pink there, that's the Pacific Asian Regional Conference, or PARC is the acronym. In Africa, we have RELAF, the Lasallian region of Africa. And then our region, the Lasallian region of Europe and the Mediterranean. Brother Michael?
Let us now have a closer look at our region of RELAM. That is the region of Europe and the Mediterranean. This map is in Spanish, one of the 3 languages that all Lasallian documents are in, the other 2 being French and English. You can see in the lower blue and white box that our region encompasses 25 countries, 415 Lasallian schools, 1,579 brothers, 32,527 teachers, and 310,839 students. You can also see from the key on the left-hand side that the region is also made up of 9 Lasallian districts. Our district consists of 4 islands, that is the islands of Ireland, Great Britain and Malta, all shown in pink on this map, which gives us the name of our district, Ireland, Great Britain and Malta. You may be wondering where the 4th island is. Well, it is the island of Jersey, which is too small to see on this map, but is very much an active member of our Lasallian network. In an age of great mobility, particularly for young people, this network offers tremendous opportunities for cultural and educational exchanges for students and teachers alike. In fact, we have just held in Malta a professional development course for teachers in our district, to which teachers in our region were invited to attend. Our region also aims to give support to each other, and recently schools have raised money to help the Lasallian family in those countries that are coping with the influx of Ukrainian refugees. This map shows the Lasallian network in our district. The blue pins show where our schools are, including yours, and the yellow pins our pastoral centres. You can see that in our network we have 35 schools and 5 pastoral centres, with over 3,500 Lasallian partners educating just over 21,000 students. The brothers form a small part of that network, and in our district there are 81 brothers living in 11 communities. All those involved with the Lasallian network, including our students, have found that their involvement has enriched their lives, and we hope that it will also enrich yours too. This is our district logo. To show solidarity, all the Lasallian districts throughout the world use the same logo, but of course with their own name. The 5-pointed star at the centre of our logo has, from our founders' time, been a symbol of an important Lasallian charism, that is, the spirit of faith. It represents the faith that the Magi had, which led them on an unknown journey to the newborn Jesus. The 5-pointed star also reminds us of the 5 core principles that define a Lasallian school. Heather will mention those 5 core principles at the end of this first session.
So we wanted to share with you some common terms that are more local. As Brother Michael mentioned, we have our district of Ireland, Great Britain, and Malta. Our visitor of our district, the brother who is responsible for the district and the ministries in it and the Lasallian family, is Brother Ben Hanlon. We have 2 auxiliary visitors, Brother Michael Curran, who you've met, and Brother Thomas Walsh. In our Office of Mission, we have Joseph Gilson, who is the Director of Mission, Joanne Millay, the Director of Formation and Vocation Ministry, Union White, our Communications Officer, and myself, serving as the Coordinator of Mission Initiatives. Also on the leadership team is Mr. John Biggins and Mr. Kevin Humphrey, who take care of various aspects of the life of the districts. So again, you might hear people in the Lasallian family talk about the district and the visitors. We wanted to make sure you had a sense of what those terms meant. I'm sure at some point in the year, you'll either see the brothers in leadership or members of the leadership team, the Office of Mission and the Brothers in Leadership, visiting your school, supporting the work of Lasallian ethos formation and mission. There are a number of different districts, committees, and councils, which Brother Michael will share a little bit more about with you now.
All organisations need a structure. For example, in schools, you have various departments, a governing body, a senior management team, etc. In our district, we have 4 groups who work closely with the schools and pastoral centres, and they are the District Executive Mission Council, which is an overview of the Lasallian mission in our district. The Lasallian mission committees, there is one in each country, and they work closely with the Lasallian schools and pastoral centres. These are normally referred to as the MEL Council and the MEL Committee, MEL. MEL is the French abbreviation for the Mission Education Lasallian, an abbreviation that is used throughout the Lasallian world. The Young Lasallian Council is exactly that. It comprises young adult Lasallians who plan their own events and keep in contact with each other through social media. The vocation team, headed up by Joe Millay, are promoting the wider Christian vocation in our schools.
Thanks, Brother Michael. So before we conclude and allow you some time to share a little bit about what you've experienced as you entered your Lasallian educational ministry and how as you're getting settled into the school year, we wanted to share with you some key cultural characteristics of Lasallian identity, of our ethos and our charism that kind of permeate the life of a Lasallian school. Hopefully you've experienced some of these, and some of these kind of key cultural markers you'll hear more about as the series of induction videos continues, and as we have a Zoom call at some point this year, just to continue to unpack some of what makes Lasallian Educational Mission unique and a gift to the young people entrusted to it. So hopefully you've experienced a sense of welcome. That's an important characteristic of a Lasallian school. I have the privilege of being able to travel all over the world. And inevitably, when I meet with young people, I always say, well, what's special about your school? And they always mention that they feel safe, that they feel at home, that they feel welcome, that they feel loved, and that there's a real sense of family. It's a key cultural characteristic that we create a place of welcome for our students and our teachers. And part of this is the gift of the brothers and our long history that you'll learn more about as you discover more about our founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, the patron saint of teachers. And an important moment in the foundation of the Lasallian educational project was that the brothers decided very early on to call themselves brothers. Right? They're not priests. They made the decision to call themselves brothers. And part of that is they recognize the call to be older brothers to the young people entrusted to their care, and brothers to one another, to support each other in the ministry of education. Now, as the Lasallian family expanded and more lay people got involved, we continue to use this kind of key cultural characteristic of calling each other brother and sister, that we are older brothers and sisters to the young people entrusted to our care, and brothers and sisters to each other on the work that we're carrying out. You'll notice in your Lasallian journey, as you continue to learn more about our network, some key icons that you'll hear. De La Salle, our founder, wrote many books and meditations for the early brothers to help them in their ministry, to help them in their work. And he offered the brothers, and by extension all of us, some icons that help us frame how we do education and our call to be Lasallian educators. And the first of those icons is the icon of the Good Shepherd. De La Salle talks about the brothers needing to be good shepherds to the young people in their classrooms. And we are called to be good shepherds to the young people in our classrooms. So that means that we go out and meet the vulnerable student where they're at. We find the least, the last, and the lost, and we bring them back. We meet young people where they're at, and we walk with them to discover their truest full potential. De La Salle also invited the brothers, and by extension all of us involved in this Lasallian educational mission, to be guardian angels to the young people entrusted to our care. So you'll see in our identity and in our ethos and in our charism, it's very relational. It's about knowing the young people in front of you and supporting them however they need to be supported so they can be successful, not only academically, but as citizens in the world. Another important cultural marker is the idea of together and by association. You'll hear this a lot in the Lasallian family, that we do things together in our school communities and by association with this global network of educators educating over 1 million young people. The sense of association is also reduces the hierarchy. We're not a typical structure where it's very top down or bottom up. There's a real sense of equality in the Lasallian family, and that we accomplish the mission best when we're working together and in association with each other to carry out the mission entrusted to us. You'll hear the phrase enter to learn and leave to serve. Again, an important cultural characteristic of a Lasallian school is it's not a factory to churn out those who are going to go on to be super successful or only worry about themselves and the world. Of course, we want our young people to be successful, but there's a real sense and a real spirit that we're called to educate the entire young person so they can discover their purpose, their vocation, the gifts and talents that God has given them so they can be of service to others. We educate young people by touching their hearts, teaching their minds, and transforming their lives. And we capture some of this sense of what it means to be in a Lasallian school with the 5 core principles. In a subsequent session of this induction program, you'll hear a little bit more about the 5 core principles, which were developed by a group of young people to help capture their experience of the Lasallian educational mission. Faith in the presence of God, concern for the poor and social justice, quality education, inclusive community, respect for all persons. These are the principles that hold our identity together. This is what makes us uniquely Lasallian and a unique gift in the world of education and in the church. So we hope that this allowed you some time to get to know us a little bit, to get to know the global family that you're now a part of, to know some key terms. I know it's a lot as you're beginning a new year. I know there's so much to think about. We appreciate your time today. And please know that this is the first initial step in a long journey of being a Lasallian educator. And we welcome you. We thank you for the gift of yourself to the young people entrusted to your care. And we look forward to meeting you in person soon.